The next test we do is alcohol, and this is called Nebulae Ometer. And so we pour the wine directly into the Nebulae Ometer. Make sure it's rinsed out with the wine. Now, alcohol tells us a lot. The more the alcohol, the less things can live in it. This works off of barometric pressure. So we first boil water, and we set our scale here at the boiling point of water at the end of this mercury scale. This thermometer bends and goes sideways rather than straight up. And then once we know our barometric pressure or our boiling point of water, which is the same thing, then we boil the wine. And the more alcohol in the wine, the lower the boiling point. And so the lower, it'll read right off the scale, which is already pre-calculated. Now this is a still as well. This condenses any alcohol that comes off while we're heating it up to get to the boiling point. So this is called Nebulae Ometer. This is an Italian version. The French version does have the temperature scale going straight up. It's a little more complicated. And it depends on whether you're a Francophile or believe in the Italian system, which one you think is best. But I like this one. It works well. Okay, now we're ready to read the alcohol from the Nebulae Ometer. And it's very, very fine, the mercury column, so I have to use a flashlight to read it. And if I look at it, you can see the mercury column. You can see the marks here. Here's 5% alcohol, 10%, 15%. And the mercury column's right about there, which is 13.6% alcohol. So this Pinot Noir is at 13.6% alcohol. And it is. It's made to be made in more of the old world style with good acidity. We had a very low pH, which tells us we have good acidity. We have a low alcohol, which tells us again that we're in the old world style. And this is the way Pinot Noir was made back in the 60s in Napa Valley. With these, so this pH will actually be raised a little bit probably before bottling, but the alcohol is perfect, and the flavors that the wine is giving us show that we picked the grapes at a point where the wine talks to you, where it still hasn't gotten overripe. It's ripe but not overripe, and it says, I'm Pinot Noir, I'm Yountville, I'm Napa Valley, I'm from this specific vineyard, the Richard Grant vineyard, and I'm from the specific vintage, which those are all things that we want the wine to tell you. The next step is pH. And pH is the concentration of free hydrogen ions in solution, but what it really means is that the lower the pH, the more acidic the wine, and the less oxygen that the wine can absorb. So the more stable the wine is, because the aerobic or the organisms that need oxygen can't live in it because there isn't enough oxygen. So this is a pH meter, and we first have to adjust the pH meter. So we have a known pH of 7, and we adjust our pH meter by adjusting it to this known pH. So we have that pH of at 7. Then we adjust it again to a pH of 4 because that's much closer to the pH of wine. Wine is anywhere between 2.5 or 2.8 and 4. So now we're into a pH of 4, so we'll press our calculator button again, and it'll calculate down to 4. Then we'll tell it it's ready to go. So now it's been adjusted. You always adjust your equipment all the time through lab work. Every couple of hours, the the albumeometer, everything. You're always making sure that it's calibrated. So now we'll take a sample of the wine, and we'll put the probe in the wine. And this is sitting on a stirrer. There's a little magnetic thing that I have in the beaker. It looks like one of these. And this stirrer makes them spin in the bottom of the thing. So the solution is being stirred as we look at it. So the pH on this wine is 3.32, which is a fairly low pH. It takes a lot of beer to do lab work. It takes a lot of beer to make good wine.